Hare Krishna, welcome everyone to our Srimad Bhagavatam overview class. We'll begin with our prayers. Om Ajnanatimrandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuronmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shavasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, welcome everyone. We are discussing from the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. And last time we discussed how Krishna, on the request of Devaki, he went to Sutala and brought the 6 sons back to life, back to Devaki. And Devaki, when she saw, she became overwhelmed with maternal affection and she fed them her milk, that milk which was the remnants of Supreme Lord. So by taking the remnants of Krishna, all these 6 sons, they were freed from the curse of the devatas, of the sages, and they went back to the heavenly abode. So that's what we discussed. So today we'll be discussing the 86th chapter. Now only 4 chapters are remaining for the 10th canto and the whole Bhagavatam, our Bhagavatam series, to get over. So today we'll be discussing the 86th chapter, which is entitled Arjuna kidnaps Subhadra and Krishna blesses his devotees. Very beautiful chapter in which Krishna's reciprocation, which is with his devotees, that is very nicely described. So now Parikshit Maharaj, he has some hint that, okay, now all the pastimes are about to get over. So therefore, he's thinking, oh, I want to hear more. So he asks one more question. He says, oh master, I have heard about the marriage of Subhadra and Arjun. And because he had heard about the marriage of Baladev and all the other descendants up to Aniruddha, but he didn't hear about the marriage of Subhadra. So therefore, he is asking in the first verse that I want to hear how Arjuna, he married Subhadra. So, because he's telling that actually Subhadra, she is my grandmother, Pitamahi. So how did Arjuna marry her? So please tell me, because she is my grandmother. I want to know how my grandmother was married. So Sridhar Swami, he tells that Parikshit Maharaj's question, it is a continuation of the last pastime. So what was the last pastime? Krishna retrieving the sons of Devaki. So actually marrying Subhadra, Arjuna marrying Subhadra was as difficult as Krishna getting the sons back from Sutala. Because in this pastime, Balaramji, he was opposing. He was not in favor of marrying Subhadra with Arjuna. He wanted Subhadra to be married to Duryodhan. That is a very interesting feature of Balramji. Why he is doing like this? Why he wanted his sister to get married to Duryodhan, who was so vicious, such sinful? It was all the pastimes of Lord. Balramji, he is assisting Krishna in his pastimes so that some excitement is there. So Shukdev Goswami, he continues the story and the pastime. He tells that Arjuna, once he went to the pilgrimage place and traveling to so many pilgrimage places, he came to Prabhas Kshetra. And there he came to know that Balramji, he has decided to marry Subhadra to Duryodhan. Although none of the family members, Krishna, Vasudeva, Devaki, nobody wanted to marry their daughter to Duryodhan. But because Balramji was very insisting, nobody could say anything. So Balramji is acting in this way so that Krishna can perform some of the exciting pastimes. And therefore, it is described, Shukdev Goswami says that Arjuna, he enters the city of Dwarka as a three-dandi sannyasi, as a Vaishnava sannyasi, holding a staff and all the dress of a renunciant. And he entered in the beginning of Chaturmas, the rainy season. And whole 4 months he was staying in Dwarka as a sannyasi, and nobody could identify him. Nobody could recognize that he is Arjuna. And all the citizens of Dwarka and all the members of royal palace, they were also giving him all the honor and hospitality. And in this way, he spent his 4 months. So after the 4 months were over, so generally it is described that it is a conjunction that during the 4 months, a sannyasi should not go to a home of any householder to take to accept any invitation for lunch. So now it is the 4 months were over. So Balramji, he went to Arjun and he invited him for lunch at his place, at his palace. And when Arjuna, he accepted that invitation and he entered the palace and he saw Subhadra. Subhadra, it is described as Kanyam Veer Manohara. She was very, very beautiful and enchanting. And as soon as Arjuna, he saw Subhadra, he was completely mesmerized and enchanted by the beauty of Subhadra. Of course, Subhadra is the manifestation of the Yogamaya potency of the Supreme Lord. So therefore, she was extremely beautiful. And as soon as he saw Subhadra, his eyes were opened very wide and he became completely absorbed in thoughts of Subhadra. And similarly, Subhadra, when she saw Arjun, although he was a sannyasi, but she also became attracted seeing the bodily features and the very, very handsome look. So Sridhar Swami describes that, actually Srila Prabhupada writes in the Krishna book that Arjuna, he was extraordinarily beautiful. He was also powerful Kshatriya and his bodily feature, structure, it was very, very attractive to Subhadra. So as an innocent young girl, she became also attracted to Arjun. And she understood seeing Arjun that he is not a sannyasi. And she confirmed in her mind that he cannot be a sannyasi and he is supposed to be my husband. So therefore she started desiring him as her husband. And Arjuna, he became completely lost. He had no peace of mind. He became lost in thoughts of Subhadra and he was patiently waiting how to kidnap Subhadra, because that's the reason he came there. And he was not alone in this conspiracy. It is Prabhupada writes in Krishna book that the distraction of Arjuna, because Arjuna, he was so distracted, he was not able to do anything else. He was not able to even acknowledge the hospitality and welcome of Balramji. Completely distracted. So Prabhupada, he writes in Krishna book that the hospitality, that the distraction of Arjun and Balramji's failure to recognize Arjuna, it was all the orchestration of Krishna's Yogamaya potency. So everything was happening because Krishna wanted. So Krishna was combinedly involved in the conspiracy. He wanted that Subhadra should get married to Arjuna, although they were cousins. So one day, as Rukmini, she went to the temple of Durga to offer some worship. So it was some festival occasion, and Subhadra, she went out of the palace and she was going to the temple. And at that time, Arjuna, he found that opportunity and he kidnapped Subhadra. And Shukdev Goswami says he did that with the permission of Krishna and her parents. So Krishna also sanctioned that, and Devaki, Vasudev, they were also very happy. So Devaki and Vasudev, they are the parents of Subhadra. So Arjuna, as after taking Subhadra on his chariot, he took up his bow, and all the warriors, they came to attack Arjuna, and he drove away all the warriors. He didn't kill any of them, he just drove them away by his powerful arrows. And all the relatives, when they saw that, oh, Subhadra is being taken away, all the female relatives and the girlfriends of Subhadra, they started shouting in anger. But nobody could do anything. And very interestingly, it is said that Krishna had told Arjuna that when you kidnap Subhadra, you tell Subhadra to drive the chariot. So Subhadra was driving the chariot, and Balramji, when he came to know that Arjuna, he has created such a big conspiracy against us, and he kidnapped Subhadra in such a wrong way, he became furious. But then Krishna, Vasudev and Devaki, they all came. Krishna caught hold of the feet of Balramji, and then he told the exact situation. He told that actually, Subhadra, Arjuna didn't kidnap him, Subhadra against her will. Actually, Subhadra was driving the chariot. That means she also wanted to go with him. So then somehow Balramji was pacified, and he very happily, he sent the bride, he sent Subhadra and Arjuna, and he gave lots of gifts, lots of jewelry and chariots, and so many of the maids, they were given in charity. So that is the wonderful pastime of the marriage of Subhadra with Arjun. And then after this, Shukdev Goswami, he tells a very special story. Without being asked by Arjuna, he continues and he tells a very special story because he was personally involved in this. He was there. He personally witnessed the story, this whole pastime. So Shukdev Goswami, he starts another pastime. Krishnasya dvija sreshta shrutadeva iti shruta krishnaika bhaktya purnartha shantah kaviralampatah. So there was a devotee of the name Shrutadeva iti shrutaha Krishnasya asid dvija sreshta. So there was a devotee of Krishna. He was a first class Brahmana. His name was Shrutadeva. And Krishnaika Bhaktya Purnartha. He was a very great devotee of the Lord. He was perfectly satisfied. Purna Artha. He had no ambitions apart from serving Krishna. He was satisfied in serving the Supreme Lord. Shanta, Kavi, Alampataha. These are the qualifications of a devotee. Peaceful, learned, and free from any deceitfulness or sense gratification. Alampataha. So these are the qualities of Shrutadev, a wonderful devotee of the Lord. So Jiva Goswami, he describes that Shrutadev, although he was a Brahmana, but he was endowed with dharma, artha, kama and moksha, uh, dharma, artha, kama, because although he was not aspiring for it, but because he was a pure devotee of the Lord. So Krishna has given the assurance, Krishna has given the benediction. Kaunteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashyati. Krishna has told to Arjun, Ananya shintayanto mam ye jana paryupasate tesham nityabhyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. So Krishna has declared, I provide what my devotee lacks and I protect what they have. So although this person, this Brahmana, he was self-satisfied just by the power of his pure devotional service. All his requirements were fulfilled, even though he was not endeavoring much for them. That's the beauty of Krishna consciousness. Anybody who takes shelter of Krishna, it is Krishna's responsibility to give him sufficient sense gratification. Because without sense gratification, nobody can survive in this world. So therefore, he was Krishnaika Bhaktya, Krishna Eka Bhaktya. He was unalloyed devotee of the Lord, Purnartho, whatever he desired, whatever basic minimum it was required for living, maintaining the family, he was getting it. So therefore, this Brahmana, he was living in Mathura and he managed his life by, whatever comes, whatever would come on his way, he would accept it. He would not endeavor much. That was the, way in which he was surviving. And interestingly, by the will of the Lord, every day he would get in charity whatever was required for the maintenance of the family and no more. He was not getting more than that. He was getting exactly what was required. And that's how he executed all his religious practices very nicely. And Srila Prabhupada and in the purport, Hridayananda Maharaj writes that even if somebody is tied by the family life, one should work in such a way that he can spend maximum focus, maximum time in cultivating Krishna consciousness. That is a principle of prayas. As Rupa Goswami says in Upadeshamrit, there is atyahar and there is prayas. A devotee should not endeavor more than necessary, and he should not be eager for more than necessary sense gratification. So it is described there that if a person, he can follow this program very nicely, continuing to work in such a way that he can maintain his family and does not endeavor much for sense gratification, for sure he will get the darshan of the Lord. As we will see in this case of Shrutadeva. Because he was maintaining his family with whatever was coming, he was attracting Krishna's attention. That is a way to attract Krishna's attention. Krishna is attracted by the sincere worship of his devotee. When Krishna sees that my devotee is keeping me in prominence as priority, then Krishna gives realizations. Then Krishna gives faith. Then Krishna gives feelings of devotion. As Bhagavatam says, Bhakti Paresha Anubhavo Virakti Anyatra Chaisha Trika Eka Kalaha Prapadyamanasya Yatha Shnatasyo Tushti Pushti Shutapayo Nughasam. So when somebody starts practicing bhakti and is pleasing Krishna, for sure one gets detached from the material world, for sure he experiences Krishna. So therefore, this Shrutadev, he was maintaining his family and he was very much pleasing to Krishna. Tatha tadrashra palo anga bahulashva iti shruta maithilo nirahammana ubhavapyachyuta priyav. And so this was, Shrutadev was an ordinary Brahmana in the kingdom of Mithila. And then Shukdev Goswami is talking about the king of Mithila. Tatha tad Rashtrapalo Anga. Rashtrapal, the king of this Mithila, his name was Bahulashva. Bahulashva iti Shrutaha. And what was the qualification of that king? Niraham Mana. He was free from pride. He was free from ego. Ubhav api achyuta priya. So the king and ordinary Brahmana, these both, they were very, very dear to Achyuta. That is the beauty of Krishna. Krishna is not attracted by any externals. He is not just attracted to a person who is a very rich, wealthy person. No. Bhavagrahi Janardana Bhaktya Tuanannaya Shakya Hameva Vidharjana Gyatum Drashtum cha Tattvena Praveshtum cha Parantapa. Bhaktya, only by devotional service one can attract Krishna's attention. So Bahulashva, Chakravarti Thakur writes, he was not identifying himself as a king. Niraham and Mana. Nirmana, Niraham. He didn't have any false prestige, false ego. That is called Akinchana Gochara. That's what Kunti Maharani is telling. Tvam Akinchana Gochara. Oh my Lord, you are the property of the impoverished. Somebody may be a billionaire, but if it does not have the holding mentality, everything is belonging to me. If that is not there, there is no problem being a billionaire also. But it is said that even a beggar is proud of his penny. That is how this mamata is so very strong. But this king, he was Niraham Mana. So Krishna, he wanted to please these both of these devotees. Tayo prasanno Bhagavan daruke naritam ratham aruhya shakam munibhir videhan prayayau prabhu. Tayo prasanno Bhagavan. So Krishna, he wanted to please both of these devotees. So what he did? He called for Daruk. So Daruk, he brought the chariot, best of the chariots, and Krishna, he mounted the chariot. Aruhya sakam munibhir. And not alone. He didn't go alone. He took along with him all the sages who had come to have his darshan. And Chakravarti Thakur writes that actually all these sages, they were not unable to come to him because of so many services. And now they had come, and now they wanted to stay with Krishna. So Krishna took all of them to these two devotees also. And somebody may ask, but Mithila is not far, these devotees, why they didn't come from Mithila to Dwarka to have darshan of Krishna? It's a very interesting reason Chakravarti Thakur gives. That these devotees, they were worshipping deities in their homes. So for this Bahulashva, he was a great king and he was also worshipping deity form of Krishna. Shrutadeva was also Brahmana, he was worshipping Shaligram. And because of their services to the deity, they were not able to come and have darshan of Krishna. Very, very important thing. For a devotee, service to the Lord is more important than just having darshan of the Lord. As Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he would tell, better to work in such a way that Krishna wants to see you. Just like we know the past time when Saraswati Thakur was giving a class and one person came and he was taking darshan. He crossed all the devotees and he went right up to the altar and he was standing there taking darshan of the deity for a long time. And then he returned back. And as he was going, Saraswati Thakur, he asked him, so how was your eye massage? Says devotee, we are not so much interested in seeing Krishna. A devotee should be interested in serving Krishna. That is what attracts the attention of Krishna. Okay, these devotees, they cannot come to me because of my service. I will come to them to give them darshan. So the sages, they were going on foot. But Krishna said, no, no, no. He forcibly put them on his chariot, and then he took all of them along with him. Who all were there? Greatest of the sages were there. Narad Muni was there. Vamadev, Atri, Krishna Dvaipayan Vyas. Shukdev Goswami says, myself, I was also there. Parshuram, Asita, and Kanva Muni was there. Chevan was there. So many great rishis were there. So all these sages along with Krishna, they were on the chariot of Krishna. It was a huge chariot. And they were crossing so many of the cities. Everywhere the chariot of Krishna would pass, all the people, they would come forward to take darshan of the Lord, and they would come with so many offerings. In this way, Krishna passed through all the various provinces: Anartha, Kurujangal, Kanka, Matsya, Panchal, Kunti, and Kekai, Koshal. All these provinces Krishna passed through. And everywhere, all the residents along with the kings of these provinces, they came out to have darshan of Krishna. They were drinking the beauty of Krishna. Netre pibantyo nayanabhiramam. They were drinking the beauty of Krishna through their eyes. Shriyo nivaso yasyo rupana patram mukham drisham bhavo lokapalanam saranganam padambujam. So Krishna's lotus face is a drinking vessel of beauty. People in the world, they want to see something beautiful, but they are not satisfied. Only Krishna's beauty can satisfy the hankering of the eyes. So all the residents of these provinces, they were having darshan of the Lord, and Krishna, he was very appropriately reciprocating with them by his loving smile and affectionate glance. Chandrika vishadasmerai sarunapanga vikshatai swakarthanam ivarajaha sattvabhyam srishtipalakai. When Krishna glances on somebody, the glance of Krishna creates the desire for service. And when Krishna smiles, that smile can evaporate the ocean of lamentation, ocean of tears which are created because living entities suffering and lamenting and crying since millions of lives. All that is evaporated when somebody gets to see the beautiful smile on the face of the Lord. Hasam hare ravanata kilaloka tivra shoka shrusagara vishoshanamatyudaram sammohanaya rachitam nijamaya yasya Dhrumandalam Munikrite Makaradhvajasya. That is the beauty of Krishna's form. The smile of the Lord can evaporate the ocean of tears. Shoka Arnava. Arnav means the ocean. There is a Shoka Ashru Shagar. There is an ocean of tears which can get evaporated just by the glance of the Lord and smile of the Lord. So as Krishna is passing, all the various provinces, all the residents of these citizens of these provinces, they were getting chance to have darshan of the Lord. Tebhya swavikshana vinashta tamishra drigpya shemam triloka guruvartha drisham chayachan shinvan digananta dhavalam shoyaso shubhakram geetam surair nibiragashana kairvidehan. So Shukdev Goswami is telling me, Tebhya Swavikshana. Just by glancing at all these residents and citizens of these provinces, Krishna, what he was doing? Vinashta Tamishra Dirghaha. He destroyed the material existence of the people. Whoever Krishna glanced upon, their material existences were destroyed. Tamashra nashta, vinashta, vishishta rupena nashta, completely destroyed. Shemam triloka guru artha drisham chayachan. Who is Krishna? He is Triloka Guru. He is the spiritual master of all the three worlds. and he appears only for the welfare of all the people in general. So therefore, he bestowed them fearlessness. Shinvandrigantadhavalam. And as he was passing by all these provinces, he would hear his own glories. All the sages and the brahmanas and the devotees, they would come and they would sing the glories of the Lord in choicest poetry. What is the quality? What is the benefit of singing the glories of the Lord? Ashubha gnam. All the inauspiciousness is destroyed just by hearing the glory of the Lord. Geetam surair nibhiragashana kaividehan. In this way, Krishna, he heard all the devatas, all the men, as they were singing the glories of him. He heard all those glories and gradually he reached Videha. That's the beauty of Krishna's glory. Just by hearing the glories of Krishna, one can get purified, one can get enlivened. Yasyakilami vahabi sumangalai vacho vimishra gunakarma janmabhi prananti shumbanti punanti vaijagat yastad virakta shavashobhanamati yasya akhila amiva habi. All the sins which we have accumulated since millions of lifetimes, they can be destroyed. Auspiciousness can arise just by hearing the words which are mixed with the guna, karma and janma of Krishna. Prananti shumbanti punanti vaijagat. And these words which glorify Krishna, they enliven, they purify, and then they animate the entire world. Otherwise, apart from this, anything which is there, it is like a decoration of a dead corpse. So in this way, the citizens, they were getting benefited. Somebody may ask, how could these people who were still not pure, they were covered by ignorance, how could they see the transcendental Parabrahma form of Krishna? And on top of that, the chariot of Krishna, it was going at a speed of wind. How could they see the beauty of Krishna? Jiva Goswami tells, actually, it was the mercy of the Lord. When Krishna glanced on all these people, their ignorance were destroyed. And because Krishna glanced upon them, by the special glance, the glance of the Lord is the mercy of Krishna. And by that, everybody became empowered to have the darshan of the Lord. Otherwise, it is not possible to see the Supreme Lord. So in this way, Krishna reaches the city of Mithila, and there all the citizens, they came out and they worshipped Krishna and they glorified Krishna in his choicest words. Te achyutam praptam akarnya paurajan padanripa abhiyur mudita tasmai gritharhan panayah. So all the citizens, when they came, oh, Krishna has come. Achyutam akarnya. All the residents of Dwarka, all the residents of Mithila, all the kings, along with the kings, everybody, they came with all their offerings. Just by having darshan of the Lord, they became so very happy. Their faces were blossomed. Hearts full of affection and love for the Supreme Lord. All the sages also came and they were offering all their choicest blessings and they were singing the glorification of Krishna. All these offerings, what is that? Actually, it is like showing a lamp to the sun, as we have heard the same in the first canto. When Krishna, he entered Dwarka, all the residents of Dwarka, they brought so many offerings. It was like Raver Deepam Ivadrita. It was like showing lamp to a sun. So therefore, all these residents of Mithila, Videha, whatever capacity they had, they brought some gifts. So Jiva Goswami says that all these residents, they had a long-standing desire to see Krishna. And therefore, when they saw Krishna coming, they placed their hands above their head and they were looking at Krishna. Are kahan hai? Ye dur se aa rahe hain. Because Krishna was still far away. And they were looking. And then they saw the sages were also there. So they bowed down to the sages also. And all these powerful sages, they had just heard about them. There are some previous times there were no Facebook, WhatsApp, news, social media. So they had never seen all these sages. First time they were seeing all these powerful sages like Dwapayan, Vyas, Narad Muni, Shukdev Goswami, Atri, Parshuram, Kanva, Chyavana. So they offered everybody their respectful obeisance. They were very excited to see all these sages. So then this both Shrutadev and Bahulashva, they both came and immediately they offered their prostrated obeisances in front of the Lord. And they started offering their choicest prayers to glorify Krishna. And they invited Krishna and all the Brahmanas to their home. So Krishna, he accepted both of their invitation and they went to both of their homes. Actually, he expanded into two. And Prabhupada writes in Krishna book, it was like Krishna, when he married to 16,000 queens, Krishna personally was there. It was not the expansion of Krishna, avatar of Krishna. It was Krishna personally. It was Swayam Prakash. So the Acharyas, they say that actually along with Krishna, all the sages also expanded into two. And there were two sets of the sages and Krishna. And both of the devotees, Shrutadev and Bahulashva, both of them were thinking that Krishna and all these sages, they are coming to my place only, and Bichara, other person, he had to go back alone. So both of them, they were thinking like this. So then Shukadeva Goswami describes what happened at the palace of Bahulashva. So when King Bahulashva, he saw Krishna approaching the palace, he arranged wonderful welcome and reception. He arranged a nice seat for them to be seated, and then when he saw, his heart was flowing with joy. He was crying tears of ecstasy. He made Krishna and all the sages sit properly, and he washed everybody's feet, and then he sprinkled the water on his head and all the family members, relatives, heads of all of them. And then he started offering various articles. He worshipped them. He put sandalwood paste, wonderful garlands, and he offered arati, arghya, and everything he gave. He gave lots of cows in charity and as a gift to Krishna. And he was thanking Lord for his causeless mercy. That is the glory of a devotee. Although he was a king, but he was thinking, I am so very fallen. I am a person of, I am a king, materialist, entangled in the family life. And Krishna, he has come to show his causeless mercy on me. Otherwise, what is the possibility that a conditioned soul like me can see the Lord? So after Bahulashva, he gave them nice bhoga to offer. He gave nice bhoga to Supreme Lord, and then after Lord was pacified and all the sages, they were sitting peacefully, comfortably. Bahulashva, he started speaking the glories of the Lord, all the while massaging the feet of the Lord. That was the wonderful fortune of Bahulashva. So then Bahulashva, he is offering beautiful prayers. Bhavani sarva bhutanam atma sakshi swadrik vibho atha nastvam padam bhojam smaratam darshanam gataha. Oh my Lord, you are the soul of all, super soul of all the living entities. Sarva bhutanam atma, you are the witness. Whatever is happening in the world, you are the witness. You are the upadrashta. And it is our great fortune that you are giving us the audience today, which is so very rare. So, Bahulashva, he was glorifying Krishna as a super soul because he was thinking that I am such a dull person. I am so very conditioned to material life that only by the mercy of the Lord I could be awakened to devotional service. And therefore he tells that you are the witness of everything. So therefore, please witness, कुछ तो मैंने अच्छा किया रहेगा, I must have done some devotional service, and you are Sakshi, so please take that into consideration. The same thing comes in Ishopanishad also, where this devotee is praying, oh my Lord, please remember Krito Smara, Krito Smara, Kritam Smara, Kritam Smara. Please remember whatever good, whatever bhakti I have done. So therefore, Bahulash is telling you are Sakshi. You witness everything. So please remember whatever, little devotional service I must have done in the past. And therefore, you are like yourself illuminated. So therefore, you are aware that I had a desire to have your darshan, and that's why you have come. Oh my Lord. Actually, you have told that nobody is as dear to you as your devotee, not even Lord Shiva, not even Lord Brahma, not even Lakshmi Devi. And today you have fulfilled that promise of yours. Kono tvacharanam bhojam evam vistrijet puman nishkinchananam shantanam muninam yastomatmadaha. So therefore, oh my Lord, any person who knows your truth, who will abandon you? Actually, anybody who understands your glories, they can never abandon you. So the people of the world, they don't take to devotional service because they don't know who is Krishna. People are hankering for happiness, but they are trying to find happiness in a wrong place. So therefore, who will not take shelter of you, my Lord? You are ready to give yourself to all these sages who have nothing. You are not attracted by anything external. You are attracted by devotion. So that is the glory of you, O my Lord. And by your mercy, you can remove all the sins. Yo avatirya yador vamshe nrinam smam saratamiha yasho vitene tashantyai trailokya vrijinapaham. You can remove the sin of all the three worlds, O my Lord. So therefore, you are akuntha medhase. Your intelligence never gets restricted. So please show mercy. And you know that your intelligence is unrestricted. Please show mercy that I also develop sharp intelligence so that I may not get entangled in the material life again. That is the job of every devotee. Consciously, we have to use our intelligence in such a way that we don't get attracted to the material life. That is what we have to pray to Krishna, and that is what Shrutadev Bahulashva is praying. That please give me sharp intelligence so that I may not fall into the material entanglement again. You are Akuntha Medhase, please give me right intelligence also. And he says, you are the same Narayan Rishi, and you reside in Badrika Ashram. So therefore, in the next verse, he prays that you are residing in Badrika Ashram, right? So you stay here also for some time. And that is my prayer. Please stay so that we may get purified. Stay for some months and purify this dynasty of Nimi. So Krishna, being overwhelmed and controlled by the love of his devotees, he consented to stay to give mercy to all the residents of Mithila. So now then, okay, one set had gone to Bahulashva, other had gone to Shrutadev. So Shrutadev, when he saw Krishna is coming with all these great sages, he was also equally delighted, and according to his capacity, he welcomed the Lord. So first of all, he bowed down to Krishna and all the sages, and then he started dancing, waving his shawl in the air, as you can see in this picture. And because he was a poor Brahmana, he did not have much facility, much resources. Whatever little he had, he started offering to Krishna. First of all, he made them sit. So he brought mats, kusha grass mats. Chakravarti Thakur writes that actually he was so poor that he didn't have even sufficient mats. So he went next door and borrowed some of the mats. So he offered all the guests, all the sages and Krishna nice mats to sit on, and then he started speaking pleasing words. He and his wife, he washed the feet of Krishna and all the sages and sprinkled the water on their heads. And in this way, they felt as if all their desires were fulfilled just by washing the feet of the Lord, just by serving the Lord. Yatha taror moola nishechanena tripyanti tatskanda bhujopashakha pranopahara cha tathendriyanam sarvar arahanam yatha achyutejya. Just like watering the root of the tree can satisfy the entire tree, worshipping Krishna can satisfy the entire world. Sukdev Goswami, as he's speaking this pastime, he is so pleased by seeing the wonderful fortune of this Brahmana. He starts speaking such wonderful poetry. He says that this Brahmana, he worshipped Krishna by bringing all the auspicious items, whatever he had, little bit, which were easily available. He brought some fruits and then some nectarian, very pure, crystal clear water. He offered tulsi leaves, kusha grass, and some fruits and lotus flower, which were easily available. And then after offering all that, he, told Krishna and all the sages that you please take bath and get refreshed. After they all were refreshed and free of fatigue, he offered them nice perfumes. And then he gave them all the wonderful items to honor, to take prasad. Sattarkayamas kuto manvabhut grihanda kupe patitasya sangamaha yah sarvatirthaspada padarenu krishnena chasyatmaniketa bhusurai. Then this Shrutadev, he is wondering, how is it possible that I have achieved such a wonderful fortune? Kuto maman vabhut, from where? How is it that I, Grihanda Kupe Patitasya, I have fallen in this deep, dark well of family life? And that Supreme Lord, who is not even achievable by great sages, the dust of the feet of the Krishna is a shelter of all the holy places. Yas sarva tirthas padapada renubhi. That Krishna, that Supreme Lord has come to my place. How fortunate I am. So that's how he is remembering. So after giving wonderful welcome to Krishna and all the sages, he sat down and he started massaging the feet of the Lord. And Krishna, as he is talking to this Brahmana, he may think that actually it is not your fortune, it is our fortune that we have got darshan of a great Brahmana like you. So Shrutadevi is expecting such response from Krishna and he says, oh my Lord, actually you are seeing all the living entities since the beginning of creation. But today, actually, we are seeing you. So it is our fortune. It is not your fortune. You are seeing us since millions of lifetimes, since eternity. It is our fortune that we are seeing you. Actually, oh my Lord, you are like that sleeping person who dreams and then who enters in that dream. So therefore, all this material world is like a dream for you because you are sleeping. While sleeping, you are creating this entire universe and then you are entering into this universe as Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. So you are like that dreaming person. And then he says, so Lord may ask, but the great devotees are like you who are constantly engaged in hearing and singing my glories. They are always having darshan of me. So Shrutadev, he is answering this thought of Krishna. Shravana gadatam shashvat archatam tabhivandatam Rinam samvadatam hridiyam bhasya hridibhasya mamalatmanam. He says, "Oh my Lord, actually you are only revealing yourself in the hearts of those who are very pure in their consciousness." So a person who has purified his consciousness by Shravanad, by regularly hearing, Gadatam Sashwat, by chanting about your glories, Shinvatam, Gadatam, Archatam, by worshipping you, Abhivanditam, by offering prayers. So anybody who serves you, O my Lord, worships you by these means, you purify their hearts and then you enter their hearts. So it is your mercy. Otherwise, you cannot be achieved by any person who is not pure in his heart. A person who still has material contamination, he can never approach you, he can never see you. Naham prakasha sarvasya yogamaya samavrita mudhoyam na abhijanati lokomamajam abhyayam. As Krishna is telling in Bhagavad Gita. People who are foolish, they are engrossed in material sense gratification, they cannot see me. Only devotees can see you, O my Lord. So therefore, for devotees, you are super soul who is guiding them. For non-devotees, you come in the form of time factor. So in this way, Shrutadev, he offered beautiful prayers, and then in the end he said, "Oh my Lord, we are your servants. How can we serve you? Please tell us." So Krishna, in response to that, now he is speaking, he is glorifying Brahmanas first of all. Brahmanastat anugraharthaya sampraptan vidyamo munin sancharanti maya lokan punantah padarenubhi. So, interestingly, when all this Shrutadev, he offered beautiful prayers, Krishna, he, caught hold of the hand of Shrutadev and taking his hand in his own hand, he started speaking very beautifully, gently. And actually, Krishna noticed that he is glorifying me all the while and he is not even acknowledging the presence of the sages. He acknowledged, but he was not telling anything about the sages. So Krishna, he wanted to bring the attention of Shrutadev to all these rishis also. So therefore, Krishna is thinking, you are telling so many things about me. I know you know about my tattva and I know about you everything. But let me tell you something special. What is that special things? These sages, they have come to bless you, Bhagwan, Brahmans, O Brahmana. Just to bless you, these sages have come from a long distance. Throughout the three worlds, they travel and they are very rare to be seen. And they have come to bless you. It is not an ordinary thing. These sages, they are actually pilgrimage places personified. Deva Kshetrani Tirthani Darshana Sparshanarchane Shanay Punanti Kalena Tadyapyartham Arhatamekshaya. This is a very common verse. It has come 3-4 times in Bhagavatam in different words. So Krishna is telling worship of the Devatas, going to the holy places, worshipping the deities of the Lord, of the Devatas, they purify one after a long time. But these great sages, they can purify just by having their darshan. Nahyam mayani tirthani na deva chetano jitate punanti rukalena yuyam darshan matrata. Lord Shiva told the same thing to Markandeya Muni. दर्शने पवित्र करो वही तुम्हार गुण गंगार परश होइले पश्चाते पावन दर्शने पवित्र करो वही तुम्हार गुण. After taking bath in Ganga for a long time, one becomes purified. But just by taking darshan of the devotees, one gets purified. So therefore, Krishna is telling actually, Brahmanas are superior to even Devatas. And what to speak of a devotee of the Lord? devotee is superior to a Brahmana. So Brahmana is higher than Devata and a devotee is higher than a Brahmana. And who are these Brahmanas? Actually, they are more dear to me than my own four-handed form. That's what Krishna is telling to all this Shrutadev. And therefore, anybody who neglects and offends the Brahmanas, he's actually foolish. Because who are these Brahmanas? They are fixed in the knowledge of me. They are always worshipping me, chanting my names. Therefore, O Shrutadev, worship these Brahmanas. If you want to attain the perfection of life, serve these Brahmanas with the same faith as you are worshipping me. So after describing the Shukdev Goswami, he ends this chapter by describing the perfection of Shrutadev and Bahulashva. And he tells that in this way, both Shrutadev and Bahulashva worshipped the Lord and all the sages who had come. And both of them, they attained their transcendental destination after this life. So Lord, he stayed there for some time. And in this way, by his own behavior, he taught all of them. And in this way, after that, he returned back to Dwarka. So that is the end of this chapter. We'll stop here. Thank you very much. So tomorrow we'll not be having our class. We'll continue from Monday. So only 3 chapters are remaining. 4 chapters are remaining. So most probably we'll end our Srimad Bhagavatam series next week. So thank you everybody for being with us now more than since 2 years, 1.5, 2 years. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Shri Krishna Bhagavan ki jai.